Hello, my dear friend. Today we will continue our journey with Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. So grab your coffee and let's dive in. In 1974, the University of Texas in the United States hosted Rick Rack, the CEO of the McDonald's restaurant chain. The purpose of the hosting was for him to deliver a lecture to the MBA students at the university at that time. Of course, my friend Robert was the one telling the story, as he was one of the students back then. Robert said that after Rack finished his speech, we went to have lunch with him, and during the meal he asked us a strange question Rick Rack asked us. In your opinion, what do you think my main occupation is? He says we all looked at him while we were eating and said, "You're joking," and then went back to eating. But Rack replied, "No, I'm serious. What do you think my occupation is?" One of the students then said, "Well, it must be managing the McDonald's restaurant chain." Rack smiled and said, "That's exactly what I was expecting you to say." He then stood up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, managing the McDonald's restaurant chain is my profession, but my real personal business is real estate." Robert says they were all stunned by this. Rack then explained that running the McDonald's chain is his career, but his personal business is real estate. He said that whenever he opens a new McDonald's location, he buys the land that the restaurant will be built on, and he tries to choose prime, desirable locations. This allows him to pursue his real estate business interests alongside his work with McDonald's. Robert says Rack presented this as the third lesson from the wealthy, having a personal business separate from your main career. Robert says his wealthy father would always tell him, "Practice your profession and focus on your personal business." Of course, this leads to the question, what is the difference between a profession and a personal business? The profession is the set of skills that you learn or acquire in order to practice a particular career and earn money. Many of us take up jobs just to get a good paycheck. And for example, most people study degree programs in university that they don't really want or like. Why? Because the job market demands those skills. Someone may study mechanical engineering even though they hate mechanics, or electrical engineering even though the sight of wires makes them uneasy. Those studying medicine, the humanities, law, and other fields often do so not because they have a passion for the subject, but because those professions are in demand. These people then dutifully work 8 hours a day, getting up and trudging through their work just to earn money. All of this is done just to make a living. Of course, the wealthy don't work just for money. As Robert's rich father said, you should practice your profession, but focus on your own personal business. The key is finding the work you truly love and are passionate about. That is the gateway to wealth. Moving beyond your professional life, what does your typical daily and weekly routine look like? Especially on the weekends when you have more free time, what activities and hobbies do you pursue? The things you choose to do in your leisure time are likely the work and interests that you are most drawn to, rather than just what you do for a paycheck. Identifying and cultivating those personal passions is crucial, as that is the path not just to making a living, but to true fulfillment and prosperity. Please share more about how you spend your time outside of your main job. I'm curious to learn about the personal projects or pastimes that you are most passionate about. Stephen asked an engineer, "What do you do in your free time?" He said he has a small woodworking workshop in the garage of his home, and on the weekends, he gathers the neighborhood kids and teaches them woodworking lessons. As Stephen would say, you should have seen the look on his face. When he heard the engineer talking about his hobby in woodworking, he instantly realized he was not a typical civil engineer. This person is a true craftsman, and it was clear from his enthusiasm and expressions that he finds joy and fulfillment in this work. This confirms that this engineer is practicing engineering not out of necessity, but because of some other reasons, perhaps the high salary, the prestige in the community, or reputation. But as the saying goes, the true purpose is the work you love. As Robert says, if you have a profession for any reason, continue with it and practice your craft as you wish, but also focus on your own personal work. Your own personal work is the real gateway. Steve Harvey says that God has given each of us a gift or talent. In other words, it is the key to wealth that exists within you. He used to call it a gift, specifically. He said that if you want to know what this gift is, it is the thing that you do with the utmost perfection and with the least amount of effort. Look at what this thing is, and work on it, as it is what will lead you to wealth. In other words, Harvey explains that each person has been blessed by God with a unique talent or gift. The way to identify this gift is to examine the things you are able to do effortlessly, and with a high level of skill. This innate talent or passion is the key to wealth that you already possess. The advice is to identify this gift and focus your efforts on developing and utilizing it, as it will be the path to prosperity and success. Steve Harvey provided an example using himself, saying that God gave him the gift of comedy. He said that when he converses with people, they naturally find him hilarious. This gift, he says, is what God has blessed him with. And it is this very gift that has led him to the wealth he enjoys today, from being a homeless person sleeping in his car to becoming a millionaire living in California. Harvey always emphasized to focus on this gift and not to waste time. He says, do not waste your time at all, focus on this gift. And if you think that you don't have something special or something you can do with utmost perfection and with the least amount of effort, focus on the thing that you love. Harvey says he believes it's better to focus on the thing you love rather than just focusing on the thing you can do with the least effort and greatest perfection. And passion is the greatest motivator there can be. There is nothing that can inspire you to do anything in life like passion can. It's incredible. It's amazing. Passion makes fatigue pass over you like honey, and time just flies by. You don't even realize you've worked 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. You don't feel the time passing. Let me give you an example. The video game player. This person has an unnatural, incredible passion for gaming. Today, there are people who have gone from zero to millionaire status just from playing video games. Many people have pursued their passion and reached great wealth as a result. Take Steve Jobs, for example. Steve Jobs started out as an employee at Disney, drawing. Imagine that. He was drawing for Disney and using his salary to save up and build his first computer. His passion was in technology, in making computers. And after being betrayed by his friends, he came back and founded his company a second time. He used his day job to fund his own work. And that personal work is what led him to great wealth. By the way, the story of Steve Jobs is one of the most amazing stories you could ever hear. The man was collecting empty soda cans to pay for his university tuition, and while studying in college, he didn't even have proper housing. He was just renting a small room with a bed and a bathroom from a friend. And yet, Steve Jobs went on to found one of the largest and most influential companies in the economic world. The key point here is, find your true passion, nurture it, and let it drive you to greatness, just as it did for Steve Jobs and so many others. Don't just focus on doing something perfectly with minimal effort. Focus on what you love, what you're truly passionate about. People who didn't have anything, just by pursuing their passion, they became something. Today, to be honest, real-life examples are considered biographies. I can also provide you with many video stories. The message I want to convey to you is that your own work is your gateway to wealth. Look at the gift that the Lord of the Worlds has given you, as Steve Harvey said. Or focus on the thing you love, develop it, organize it, care for it, and create assets from it. And this is a very important point. Practice your profession, which is your job. Take care of your own work, but turn it into assets. Assets are the things that bring you money without any effort from you. It may require a very large effort from you in the beginning. It may be an effort of a month or a year or 2 years or 5 years. But after this period of this strong effort, this passion turns into an asset. Pursue your passion, turn it into wealth, and turn it into an asset. You love books, read books, create content that explains books you love painting, draw you love cameras, be a photographer. This is the key to unlocking your true potential and financial freedom. Take action today and watch your passion transform into a thriving enterprise. That's it for this episode. I hope you had a great time. I can't wait to see you in the next episode where we will continue our journey together. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.